What is going on, everybody? It's your boy AJR, WW Gaming, or Worldwide Gaming, and today, here is another episode of The Podcast with your boy, Gabriel Mashiashik.
AKA the Epic Kid, but that's just something we'll discuss in a future date. So you could just call me Gabe because let's face it, nobody can really pronounce my last name correctly.
Yep, so this is another episode of the podcast. Stop fucking FaceTiming me, alright?
Wait, who is that?
Kayla.
Oh, which one?
I'm doing something right now. YouTube business, alright? I'll talk to you later.
No.
She's like, no.
Yo, is that Kayla O or Kayla B?
No, Kayla from 113.
Oh, okay.
You know, this YouTube business, it's been growing, because the...
Work is never over.
But, anyway.
The one time when you start recording, like nothing happens for the past 15 minutes, but as soon as you start recording, like your phone is just blowing up.
I know, it's insane. Anyway, as you can see on the screen, I'm literally recording this. I'm not going to say when I'm recording this because I'm going to get a lot of hate comments. But, as you can see the girl, the bro face, as like they call it, and it's probably funny. It's really funny, so. I wasn't going to do a funny fail completion because, copyright, and I almost got in trouble for it on my other podcasts, even though I said, all rights go to them. But it doesn't matter. So we're going to talk about topics that we think should be talked about. And Gabriel, what do you want to talk about?
Alright, let's start with something that's pretty big. How about ISIS?
Alright, I was just about to say that. For our age, I'm 13, Gabriel's 13. A lot of kids our age don't really talk about this. But we like talking about it because we like to know what happens around, the United States and different countries. Alright, so Gabriel brings up ISIS. I bring up border control. That's what I think. Gabriel, do you have any topics on?
Alright, like, first, a little bit of an update. For those of you who don't really know what ISIS is, I believe it stands for Islamic State, even though, like, each letter is not represented where it's just Islamic State. So basically, it's this terrorist group that just formed, and, like, they're basically threatening everybody. I believe they're in Syria, Ukraine, Iraq, like, all these different countries, and they're beheading innocent people and civilians, and it's just terrible, and, all these countries are wondering, how do we put a stop to this? What are we supposed to do? Because ISIS is, basically, they're, like, going all over, and they're posting all these videos on the internet of, like, executions and beheadings. And they're basically just asking for more, but the question is that a really good decision, or should we just wait it out a little bit?
And that's a really good question. A lot of people really want to know the answer for that. In my opinion, not to get political, a lot of people say like, "Oh my God, Artie's an Obama hater. He's a racist." And I know a lot of people will do that, but I'm not because I'm not really a Republican or a Democratic. I just like if there's a person that's a Republican and they're not, doing their job well, then I won't agree with that. I won't be a Republican on that. If anything, I'll be a Democrat. But then there's, for instance, Obama, and I don't really like him as a president. He's not really doing the best job right now, especially with the border control. We're just letting thousands and thousands upon thousands of people into our country without any paperwork, and we can't do that because eventually, well, actually, it's actually starting because there have been more than one beheadings on the southern area of the United States because of immigrants and other people coming into the country without any paperwork, no background check, and it's just, we can't do anything about it because the president is not doing its job. And in my opinion, like, he needs to take stuff to Congress and the general, the military, because he thinks that he knows everything, and he thinks that he could run this country without taking anything to anyone, especially with Congress and the general. And I think that, if you're a president, you're supposed to be representing your country and helping others. We've been with Iraq for for a very, very long time, okay? And we can't give up on them now. This wouldn't have happened if we didn't let go of our troops in Iraq. ISIS would have never happened. We would have been fine. We wouldn't have to send more boots out there into those countries if Obama didn't take him out in the first place. They weren't dying. He let them go. He literally took them out of there. And that's when ISIS started to grow. And Iraq isn't really even a problem anymore because ISIS is so strong. Gabe, do you have anything?
All right, my little opinion on the subject. I really think that in the situation it is right now, with people getting killed on the daily, and my article for current events today was actually about like 100,000 people evacuating from Syria within 2 days, which is like almost record breaking. In this point in time, we
Yeah.
have to put boots on the ground. I really do think so. Like, I don't really think that we have to go to war like right now, but we just have to show that, the United States is not going to put up with this. We just, need to show them like just one act of like standing our ground and just saying, hey, if you want to go to war, you'll have a war. The United States is possibly the best nation to go to war to and lose. And if they really want to, they'll go to war with us, and I really think that's going to be an easy victory. But at the same time, you have to consider, civilian casualties, deaths, things like that, and you know, of course, nuclear bombs is kind of not an option, as it's going to just damage everything in the country. So you really have to like plan out your steps really strategically and carefully. So yeah, that's kind of my opinion on that.
Yeah, so. And there is ISIS people on our American soil. I was watching Fox 5 News about 2 nights ago. It was over the weekend. And there was this girl, I forgot her name, but it was a judge. And shout out to Fox 5 because they do a really good job. They do a really good job with the news. I watch other, to see other
It's
people's.
conservative.
Duh. It's Fox 5. And, they don't always rip on Obama that much. Oh, just kidding. Anyway, so she was talking about how ISIS is literally in our country, and there have been a lot of beheadings in the South, like I said before, and that kind of makes me scared because there was a lot of threatenings in New York about trains being blown up, another 9/11, and it kind of scares me because I live in Queens, which I shouldn't give out my personal information, but that doesn't matter to me. I don't really care. But I'm just saying, I'm a New Yorker. I live in America, and it's kind of scary because I was only like 3 months. I was 3 months actually when 9/11 happened, so I didn't really understand it. But now I understand what happened that day, and it was a terrifying day. And I don't want to see that personally in my like, in my state. Like that would just be terrorizing. Me and Gabe were like little infants when this happened. So Gabe's about like how many months older than me? Are you, Gabe? Like,
I was like 7 months old when this happened.
uh,
I was born in February and you were born in July, so just
yeah, yeah.
do the math.
You do that. You're good at that.
Or 5 months, I guess.
Yeah,
Either way.
yeah, something like that. But yeah. So I don't know if my mic is picking you up, Gabe.
Is it? I don't know.
Well, on the screen, is it only going to record my voice? Because the volume is stretching out on mine.
I'm not really sure. I'm not into YouTube editing stuff. I haven't really uploaded a single video yet.
Yeah, instead of that qualifying. Do you know what? I really don't want to pause the video, though. I really don't want to stop the video. We're already running at 8 minutes. What are we going to do?
We can make it like 2 parts. I don't know. It's up to you, really.
Okay, so... Yeah, we'll just make this 2 parts. Alright, so this is the first part of I think this is the 4th episode of the podcast, or 5th, I'm not sure. Sorry, my voice just cracked. This is part 1 of the 4th episode, and this is AJR, and this is the Epic Kid _ with double D's. And so make sure you guys like, comment, favorite, subscribe, and all that fun stuff, and I'll see you in part 2, and it's coming out today, so peace!